is a fine line between being loyal and being stubborn. And in the past, he's been, I think, too loyal to certain players. But he's took all these attacking players now. Cole Palmer, brilliant season. Gordon didn't get...
Who's he being loyal to then?
Well, if you look at Kane, if you look at, I think Walker's done all right. Declan Rice, you know, is he the player who's making the team better? Is he making other players better? I'm not too sure. And obviously, he dropped quite a few players. He had to because McGuire obviously was injured. Chilwell might have been one he could have taken. But he's got to give these guys a chance because the way they played in the first 2.5 games, and before, since Cole Palmer come on, was probably the best they've played or the most lively they looked, but they was down to one player. Now, the way they played the first 5 halves of this tournament, can you see them getting to the semis, to the final? Can you see them winning it when they come up against a big team? Obviously, they're in the better half of the draw. But I think they've got to do a lot better, and Palmer potentially could play a big role, maybe Anthony Gordon, but they've got to get a chance.
The argument is, though, that because we see these players week in, week out, and we know they're brilliant players, that he's thinking in his head, I have to pick them. They're the best players.
Yeah, but again, we talk about Gordon, you know, sort of wrote a few notes down. Davies basically, well, I said Gordon got 3 minutes. What's the point of even putting them on? We'll leave him on the bench. I thought Manu did okay when he came off the bench. You know, when they were needing a goal, really, they swapped fullback for fullback. When you've got all these different options, Watkins we didn't see at all tonight. I don't know. It's hard to even, you know, because we're being Irish and you're trying to be, you think, oh, you're just negative because it's England, like, but. You know, we're analysing what we see, and it's just so poor from an England point of view that you nearly see the players and they're talking behind their hands over clapping the crowd and all, and it's like.
But you wonder, do they even know what's going on?
As if they're saying, like, "Gee, we can't get any worse." It kind of feels that way.
You're listening to them, Shay, and that's the way it comes across. And then you see the manager go and do something like takes a gamble with Trent Alexander-Arnold. It doesn't work out. He replaces him with Conor Gallagher. Then tonight that doesn't work, so he replaces him. It's no wonder the players are saying, "I'm not sure."
But again, why not go to a free at the back? Why not, you know, push wing backs forward, get more people in midfield, get 2 up front? Why not play Kane? We talked about Kane drops as a 10. Why not play Kane dropping as a 10 and Watkins stretching the opposition? Try and do something different. He's just literally taking, as he said, Gallagher off. OK, we'll put him in there. It's the exact same position. We'll take a full-back off. We'll put another full-back in the same formation. You have to try and mix it up. Change formations. Try something different. Change personnel. It's just, as I said at half-time, there's no spark. You know, we'll maybe show a couple of half chances after the break, but it's just... We're just clutching to try and get something positive, but there's nothing very positive to have.
Amazing how Gallagher was the answer before the game for him, and then he's thrown him under the bus 45 minutes to come off. Whereas you could have taken anyone off, but he's taken the easiest option to take off. It won't upset anyone. Doesn't matter if Gallagher's taken off. He could have taken Foden off. He could have taken Bellingham off. He could have taken Saka off earlier. He could have taken Harry Kane off. But Gallagher's the easy option. Bring in Manu, the youngster again, who probably, in fairness, did better than Gallagher, but Gallagher didn't really do anything wrong, worse than any other player. It was just an easy decision for the manager that won't upset people.
And that's the thing. Gallagher isn't or wasn't the problem. He's not the problem of that England team. And as a manager, if you want to get the respect of the whole squad, you've got to go after the big boys. If you go after the small boys, people won't respect you. And I think he's at a stage now where the public lost faith in him, where the pundits lost faith in him in England, and I think the team lost faith in him as well, because his substitutions, some of the substitutions you can't follow, you don't know what he's thinking, and I think the biggest problem is they've got Foden and Bellingham in the same team. It clearly doesn't work, but he hasn't got a bottle to drop either of them, because I think he's got to take one of them out or move Bellingham a bit further back, but he doesn't want to do this because for some reason he thinks Bellingham should play or has to play in their position behind Kane. And unless he drops one of the two, because that gives him a chance to bring Palmer in, bring Gordon in, bring Ezim, whoever. They've got so many players. Jarrod Bowen come on the last week and he set up the chance on the first game, set up the chance for Kane. And he doesn't do it. And I think if you stick to these big players and they clearly not perform, I think there's a case to drop both of them. I think there's a case to drop Foden, Bellingham, and maybe...
He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. Because if he doesn't do it tonight when a game they're already qualified in,
but
he's not going to do it in the knockout stages.
Unless he does it, you know, I think it becomes a problem with the squad as well. Obviously, it's probably too late now. But if you go after the lesser players, it doesn't look good on the manager. and that's what he's done in the tournament. As Kevin said, he's taken Alexander-Arnold. He's an easy target. Gallagher comes out of half-time. We probably don't see Gallagher again in the rest of the tournament.
And again,
Did he do anything wrong
it goes
tonight?
back as
Probably
well
not.
maybe to the squad he's picked as well. So he's left Jack Grealish at home, he's left Maddison at home. I mean, Guire was an injury issue, of course. But again, these players will be itching to get on. He's picked kids on the bench. You could mention Maine, who played well tonight, but you've got like the likes of Wharton, you know, Eze and people like that probably sit there happy to be in the squad, but not, you know, like a Jack Grealish or a Maddison who could maybe come on and really do something different. I don't know, we just talk about the defensive, the quality these players have. They've got some brilliant players, but they look lost in the team. They look totally out of sorts, don't they?
Don't look at him.